Jeff, Zach, thanks for joining me today.
Thanks for
Hey,
having me
Steve.
again, Steve.
Good to have you guys. Not so good, maybe for homeowners, at least on this topic. We're talking about housing costs skyrocketing, at least according to some articles. We've seen property taxes, home maintenance costs, property insurance, all of them going up. Average annual home insurance costs rose about 20% between 2021 and 2023. Um, Almost 10% of homeowners surveyed by Fannie Mae last year weren't confident they could afford their home insurance premiums at their next renewal. We're seeing like nearly 1 in 5 saying they can't afford a $500 emergency repair. We've seen repair costs, maintenance costs, insurance costs go up. Some places even tough to get insurance. My native California, fire insurance pretty tough. I know Florida, we've got some issues with getting affordable storm insurance. So, some of your guys' thoughts on skyrocketing or rising at least costs around housing and real estate in general.
Are you making it seem like people are going to be selling their houses and I might be buying some stuff, right? No, costs have gotten really out of hand. I'm not sure exactly how to kind of tamp that down because construction costs, on the other hand, people thought were really high. They seem to kind of stabilize, and so we're not building things more expensively. It's all of the stuff that goes into the houses and owning them beyond just the construction. And insurance has definitely been running away, and they've got to lock that down. But that seems like it's policy related. You can't stop hurricanes from happening, and they will tell you in Florida that last year was the first time they've made profit in over a decade. And Jeff and I find that very hard to believe. But it seems like it's going to have to come from the top down, and that there's going to be some buying opportunities ahead on some properties.
Yeah, I mean, I might even add, maybe this is more of a driver of why we do a lot of what we do, especially on the side of multifamily. You're talking about rates and these costs going up. With the average across the United States, about $3,100 for home ownership per month, whereas the average cost in the United States across the United States for a rental payment is about $1,800. So it just kind of further, takes us into what, kind of what we theorize that you're going to see a lot, people continue to rent for longer because they can afford to do that more than they can afford a $3,100 a month mortgage.
Yeah, I had a lot to say, and you took all of it, Jeff. So
I'm
that was
sorry.
pretty much where I was going. This is really another driver for multifamily for why rentals, even if people would prefer owning a house, they're going to be renting a lot of them. So I think it's in a way good news for the multifam sector.
Yeah.
Definitely, we see that supply demand issue still being there. I really don't have too much to say that you didn't just say. So,
Well, I mean, look, I might even add to that, just especially on the side of supply and demand. This year it's expected you're going to have about 480,000 new units come online, compared to that's the average. It's about 40% more than the average year over year for the last like 5-7 years. So I mean, it will help with some of that, I guess that demand that you're talking about. But it might actually cause a little bit of softening in some of these more primary markets that have been pushing and pushing rents to go, drive them higher and higher. So
yeah, no, I appreciate the inputs, guys. I think the from an investment perspective, things still looking good for multifam, with some positive and negative drivers contributing to a positive outlook, and this is a negative driver contributing to a positive outlook for us. Thanks a lot.
Thanks,
thanks,
Steve.
Steve.